What in the actual What's going on, my gamers? It's the new guy Canteen here, and Monster Hunter the World has been out for about a week and a day now, if I'm correct. Question? Oh yeah, it's been a week now. It came out last week Friday. Well, yeah, Monster Hunter World came out last week, and I think it would be best if I do my personal review. But yeah, it's gonna be like, as all my videos, off-script random stuff as always. And so I did just beat the game 2 nights ago? No, last night. And it was a pretty good story. I'll give you that. It was a pretty great story. But right now I'm gonna be doing reviews. I'm gonna going over some armors that I do have and 2 weapons that I own at the time. Haven't maxed out one of them. Did max out one, and I'll be going over all the things you can do in the hub and other things such so. But first, let's start off with the rooms because I'm already in mine. So Zoro Magris, as you know, is what you discover at the very start of the game, that giant rock thing. At first, you will start out in a little ship area at the very start, known as your living quarters. We're gonna move there so I can actually show you for those who haven't played the game yet. So in this area, this is the starting area that you will first get, and it's pretty basic, it's pretty small. You can only place 1 pet, and if you go to your housekeeper, which watches over your room, they will show you the training area, your pets, your move room when you, I'll explain that, and your claim bonuses, which you should be able to access once you get to your room and finish all the first mission area stuff. And once you do the first battle against Zoro Magris and you complete that, you will get your private quarters. Now, in my personal opinion, this was a major step up in the room, and I was very, very happy in how it looked because it was just utterly beautiful. And yeah, once you beat Zoro Magris for the first time, this will be the second room that you acquire, which is actually, if you can tell from down there, this is actually, I don't think you can tell that well, but this is just down the stairs if you don't use the lifts. Once you walk past the armory, there's a room on your right where your cat will say you can't enter, but this is where your second room is. This is quite nice. You have an aquarium to admire. I don't know what the fuck I put in there. You have a little tree growing inside here, very nice. Light lantern, bugs, birds. And then once you beat Zoro Magris completely, I'm not gonna spoil anything about that. Why did I press that? You'll get your private sui, whatever the fuck it is. I can't pronounce shit, okay? Leave me alone. And I'm gonna be honest, at first glance, this room and the intro they did for it was utterly beautiful. And this reminded me that these jellyfish that I found in one of the areas would work very beautiful for this room. So I went back, captured a whole shit ton, threw them in here. I found those 2 guys up there in the same place as well, plus that bird over there, and some fish, but it's not MTV Crips, okay, leave me alone. But yeah, if I have to go my personal review on the design of each room from bottom to top here, after each amount that you do, I'd have to give this a 4 out of 5, because these are quite well done and the design is very breathtaking at first. And you can also interact with the animals depending on which one you've captured. You can interact on the bed area. There's 4 benches out here. You can walk into your little pond right here, see your fishes that you own. But yeah, if I was 7-person view on rooms, give it 4 out of 5. Very well done, and you even have your own cat orchestra. Okay, so now we're going into the weapons that I own, and my two personal favorites at the time is the Wyvern's Blade, which is the long sword, and the steel axe, when I have the Axe of Demons. Now, if these weapons are very like playstyle type, so if you're just out here for brute damage, I do recommend the steel axe, the Buster Sword, the Iron Hammer, because that's straightforward. Now this, it's a good forward weapon, but you should play that more tactically. That's pretty much the same version of this one that I have. The Gun Lance and the Thunder Lance. You're more tank if you use the Iron Lance or the Gun Lance. The support weapon I've only seen here is the Metal Bagpipe. It does give various buffs that I've seen, and they're very well, and this one helps you jump, this like master mounting. These two people are mostly people who would go in if the monster is down on his ass, and you start doing a lot of damage, and range support as always. But I guess I'm only going to be doing a review on the weapons that I've used, so I'm not going to play the movie because it's pretty straightforward. But the steel axe, through the results of what I've played with, the steel axe is very, very good. And the strongest skill tree is the Diablo skill tree, which has a power of 805, and other than the other weapons I've seen in any other tree, this is the most powerful weapon out of all of them. The affinity is -30, so I want to say that really won't affect your outcome, but I'm not a specialist on this, so I won't say anything about that. But it's pretty good. The sharpness is very high, and you'll be very happy with this. If you don't care for your position, if you just want to get out there and just beat the shit out of them, I recommend you'd use the steel axe for one of your starting weapons. If not the steel axe, go for the Buster Sword. It's called the Jaw Blade. I don't know what everyone's called. Everyone calls it Buster Sword. Everyone calls it Jaw Blade. I prefer Jaw Blade because that's what it used to be called in the other old games. So yeah, these two are straightforward blunt damage, along with the Iron Hammer, which does a lot of stun. But what I like about the steel axe that made me pick it is that a special ability that you do, you can, if you haven't seen any of my videos yet, I don't think I've posted any videos, but you can jump on a certain part of a large monster and start grinding them up and make it explode on them, which is really damn cool at first sight. So it's pretty damn awesome. But moving on to my personal equipped weapon right now is that I have the long sword, also known as the Wyvern's Blade, which I have been working on for quite a while now. Now, this one is only one level away from my rarity 8s, but I have to kill the Narragante. If you guys ever seen any of the memes about the Narragante beta, pain in my fucking asshole. Don't take that like way. But the Wyvern's Blade is more of a tactical fighter. He has mixed combos. I said he is a person. The Wyvern's Blade is mostly mixed combos, where it goes from straightforward blunt assault, but it has moves that lets you attack while dodging out of the way at the same time. So if you see a monster about to hit you with some bullshit, dash to the left, dash to the right, or dash backwards. But if we're going into his... how should I put this? But if you go into his special combos, some of his moves, like the Spirit Blade, is really nice because when you connect all four moves, it will reset the blade, so you put it back in the holster so you can run away if you need health and you got lucky enough to hit a combo. And then you'll have, for a temporary amount of time, a special ability, so I'll probably just go into combat and show you how these work. But you'll have like a special long, like outlined around the sword, demon sword. Around the, for fuck's sake. And what it does is that whenever you do a certain move, again, I will go into combat and show you that in a minute, you'll be able to not only hit them, but you'll be able to launch off of them and do a downward slash that will do immense amount of damage, which you will kind of find cool as hell at first glance. But yeah, other than that, This weapon, again, can be used for straightforward blunt attacks. You don't really need to go off a team with that. You don't gotta play a role in this, but that's my opinion. I think this is a great weapon, as always. But it is kind of technical to fight with, so pick your weapons wisely. My recommendations for starter weapons would be the steel axe, the gun lance, or if you want to go long range, the bow. The iron assault and the chain blitz, which is the light gun and the heavy one. Well, this is light, that's heavy. This one can use a shield, this one can't use a shield, but the amount of ammo you would use for these two are insanely high compared to like these. Cause the bow isn't that bad, but like, well, the reason I don't want to use a ranged weapon in general is that the amount of time and effort you need to go find then make the ammo so you can use them again for your next mission, because it's just so much. And I from the stuff I've accidentally collected, it seems you can collect a amount of them fast. But again, I don't know. That's up to you guys if you want to play that role or if you're gonna get the game. Before we head out, I want to tell you about your Pelico. Fuck off. Your cat is your #1 companion, and most people I've seen really neglect their cat. I never see them put any upgrades or anything on, because when I did the final boss in this game and I saw one person come help me and their cat still had all the basic armor at the start of the game, we're talking like all this crap over here, like if I ever put a defense 4 armor on my cat and brought it to the final boss, he could one-shot it. And I'd be sad because of it, because I fucked up. 2 on, oh my god. I was looking at the wrong guy. Oh my fucking god. But no, your cat really is like the most useful thing you'll have out here in these missions, because their weapons and their abilities, in fact, I have 4 of them. This is the base one you usually start out with, which is where they would, and I'm gonna play the video, but they would usually just, when your health is at a certain rank, they usually get this little wasp and it'll come heal you. As you level them up, it'll have more abilities, which is really good, and they can really set up a station too, so if you want, or whenever you feel like you need it, you can run over to it and then activate it as well, and that would also heal you. And they also have a flashlight cage that I used a lot during the beta, where at a call time or at a random time, your cat will put down a little cage, and when you walk over to it and hit it, it'll flash any enemies in the vicinity, blinding them for a certain amount of time. Or if you're fighting a large monster, they'll usually just throw themselves around. The shield spire, which I think if you're a gunner or a bow user, I want to advise you would use. That their cat will usually be just bait after this. They'll put up a shield, it will grab the monster's attention, they'll attack it, and once the monster hits it, they will pounce back and knock out and hit him in the face. Now, in all honesty, if you're a ranged user, I would say use any one of these. The plunder bait, if you're looking for materials, I would say use this, because it would just take materials off the enemy as you attack them. I think there's a few more, I don't know because I haven't found them yet. But if you're going to use any ranged weapons, I would advise using these two, because if the monster gets too close, it'll be really good for you to flash them to move or load. Or if you're getting nailed too hard, have the cat take the damage for you and have them go on them. So never neglect your cat. Your cat may cost you some money here and there, but you will not regret it. And your cat helps you defeat a monster or save your life when he gives you that health, or puts up that shield, or flashes the enemy for you at the right amount of time. So, just saying. Okay, as we're heading out here, I guess we can go into map design. So, I won't go into, I'm not going to show you every map, so I'm just going to go to the Wildspire Waste, because this is kind of my most favorite map out of everything here. But the map design for everyone, I think the only map design a person might say they don't like is the Elder Recess, because it's kind of weird for me. I don't know. I don't like the Elder Recess that much. The map design is a bit weird, but I don't know. But the Coral Highlands is a very beautiful place. Rotten Vale, Undead, kind of in the name. Wildfire Waste, Desert Wasteland, I thought that first. Ancient Forest, pretty obvious, and if you haven't seen the beta gameplay from anyone else, I don't know what to tell you, it's a forest. The monsters all have their own unique design, and their attack style patterns are easy and fast to learn if you just pay attention. And they're it's very easy to master any monster to fight. But even if you master fighting one monster, it's not bad to have someone come help you, because they can get a bit out of hand sometimes, and they can be very annoying. But like every good map design, they'll also have to go into detail about things. So some maps, like this area right here, if I wanted to and had enough power and force, I could call it a sinkhole right here, and any monster that's in it would get dropped down into here and probably take severe damage. Now I'm gonna hunt the Barith so I can show you this long sword weapon that I'm using here, because I couldn't really explain it well back at the last part when I was telling you about, because the demon blade sword. Do I just sound like an idiot now? I sound like an idiot now. Yeah. Let me just get back to the other topic. Like I was saying, you can find all your resources either from ores like this, piles of bones that are usually scattered around the map. It's great. There's many ways you can go ahead of building your weapons, either through mining your stuff out, or gathering them, or you can get them from the monsters you defeat. Because everything has its own tree. There's an ore tree, a bone tree, a tree for every type of large monster you killed. Even for the Elder Dragons. And the Elder Dragon ones are a pain in the ass. That is not the thing I want to kill. That thing will F me up, especially with this blade. But there's always these little things you can always jump onto, and it helps you get around. And they also you can't find those that often, things like those. But when you find them, they're always placed in a very convenient area, and it helps you jump on a monster a lot faster. And then there's guys like these that freak the fucking shit out of me. They tell you a little bit of wise wisdom, and they give you something like a max potion right there. So if you find them, make sure you talk to them, and they usually give something good. And the end game stuff is pretty freaking sweet. I'm not gonna lie. The amount of new things you find I found Barith, by the way. It's very cool, because you can, like the armor I'm wearing right now, this is from the final boss that you beat. Like Zoro Magris, at random times, it'll be like a special quest that'll pop up at random times. So every time you see it, take the opportunity right away, because it's like the best type of armor. Well, depending on what style you play, because every armor has its own abilities, and each ability is very good depending on the purpose and what style holds you play. But like I play a very aggressive melee style, and I really hate getting stunned, knocked back, thrown down, and yelled at. So there's only so much armor that can do that. Earplugs sounds like the best thing to have, because monsters love to yell a lot. You won't come across a lot of monsters that slam the ground. If you do, you'll learn very fast to just move out the way, because you'll be able to tell when they're about to do that. But we're about to go into combat here, and I'm going to show you what exactly this long blade does. This is the Narragante version, and from what I've seen, this is the strongest one in the entire tree.
People compare us with zombies, we always ready for action. The beats banging around the road for your satisfaction. Don't ask questions, hold your head until the beat drop. The new school is not about the beat.
Hub, and let's do the tour that I said I was going to do. Now, ignore the music if you can hear that in the background of this game. I have a special quest available right now to get some better armor materials, so I'm going to go do that later once I'm done this entire thing. So, as of the social hub, I know many of you may have seen here and there, but I'm going to explain exactly what's here and what's there and what actually goes on. So this is the base area. You can, whenever you spawn in, you can actually change where you spawn in. There is usually this area where I'm at right now, which is the trading hub. The armory is right up there, which is the smithery. You can choose a spawn up there. There is the canteen. If I'm right, you can spawn up there. And then there's the gathering hub where you can meet other hunters. No one really there at the time because people really don't meet up there. But you can either spawn here, smithery, the trade yard is pretty much the basic area I was telling you about. It's the trade area, the smithery where the armory you can spawn. You can spawn the canteen where you can get your handler, canteen, get your food, and see other players. The gathering hub, which is upstairs. I'm gonna go tour I do everything else. So this main area and that board back there is pretty much just where you can collect your quests and start off everything. Up here is pretty much your marketer, if you guys know what that is. It's pretty much the guy you go to buy stuff such as antidotes, potions, cool drinks. You'll unlock that later. Large barrels, things like that. You pretty much basically have to use your standard stuff that you need and sell to if you want. Over here, you'll unlock this later in the game. I think after the third person, the research center mostly just gives you bounties and requests. You can get research points, which you can use to buy food. It gives you buffs before your missions and other things you can use them for, such as upgrade. You can use research somewhere to buy stuff for your cat armor, and they're used for very few things and various things. This guy's not here right now, but like somewhere near the game, there'll be a guy who comes on a ship and he'll bring you random supplies from the overworld. This one you'll really love. This is the mending station.
Hey there.
And the reason I like this is that I can just make these items. All these items here, you can make them without actually having to like grind them up. I think this is just me being lazy, like always. But this right here is like super useful. You can get anything, flash powder, everything. You can also use them to make rare materials, Nova crystals, Elder Dragon blood, and all that stuff. I gotta figure out how to make this shit though. These berry shit. I need an Argante one. This fucking. Oh, I need that so badly. Yeah, but moving on. There's not that much here. Oh, and something you'll unlock, like I think 4 or 5 levels in. This guy right here will help you grow your crops. So if you need to grind up a material, but you're too lazy to actually go grind up that random material or like singly, you go to him after you unlock him, and he'll fertilize your materials so they grow after every quest. You come to this guy to update your research on everything and everything you killed and captured, so you know exactly what material you need to get and who you need to talk to. Over there is a quick access to your room. That is a ship, and this is going to be your best friend here. Instead of walking all the way upstairs to all these areas, this place is pretty big, you can travel to either the workshop, the bridge, which is right above us, the canteen, the food area, and the gathering hub, is where you talk to your friends. So we're going to go to the workshop so we can show you pretty much what's all about. So the workshop is, of course, going to be the place where you're going to build everything you have. So you can forge new weapons. Here they all are: greatsword, longsword, dual blades, yada yada yada. Everything here. Then your armors. Now you're gonna start off this hotkey up here. You're not gonna see that first, but this is gonna be what you're gonna start off with. You're only gonna have the leather, the chainmail, and the hunter. If you pre-ordered, but the pre-order's already gone, you already have the DLC stuff. But mine is that. As you go along and unlock new materials, you'll unlock new skill trees, or in this case, forge armors. And these are technically the order you should find it in, which is the bow and vesper. How do I not? Okay, whatever. Keystone guides you. These are all the monsters you can kill in game, and as you skin them, they will unlock new trees, so you can unlock all these armors. And as you kill large monsters, you'll get all these bigger, better new armors with all skills on them. And speaking of skills, if you actually want to level up these skills, you have to have another piece of armor. So say if I have this armor here with a marathon runner, I'd have to find another piece of armor that has the same skill to level it up off from one. But yeah, as you go through and you actually beat the game, you'll get past the lower levels, and then you go into high level gear, which is pretty much, at first it is the same gear, but they all come with either leveled up perks or a slot which you use to have a gem you can put your own custom perk in. There's always going to be an A and B, so because they're mostly just different designs. At first they will scare the shit out of you because the required materials is a bit much, and you should have played the game long enough to know that most of the materials they ask for here is a bit much, but you'll get past it. Vesper armor is always, but you don't really see any of the good shit until after, I want to say, the Black Diablos. I'm not gonna talk about that, but here this is where you're gonna start seeing all the great armor that you really want. The rarity 6, that's after you completely beat Zoro Magris, and this is all the armor you'll see. Armor out here is pretty damn good, to be honest, and they're all pretty fair when it comes to skills and buffs. Zoro Magris, like I said, is the armor. I actually have this armor, but I actually got rid of it because I had no use for it no more. Yeah, high metal armor, such so, Ingus. You should have seen some of this in the beta. Some of these are quite weird, but they're unique at the same time. And their designs are very cool. Nothing about this is actually bad. All this armor is quite pretty interesting, and some of them come with some pretty cool effects because the base area of what they do is very powerful. But you'll really get used to these armors. You'll make these your best friend now. Usually people don't go with sets because the sets are always like just make you feel look good, but in all honesty, if you're really dedicated to actually having like a good run and not effing up and dying every 3 seconds because of the useless ability you have, you will mix and match these armors to like the best advantages of their abilities and stuff. So I'm not gonna tell you how to play your game. I'm just gonna tell you how you will most likely play it, because some of this armor you'll find is really goddamn cool. Narragante and stuff, so on. And you can also, now here is where the upgrade tree is. This is where you're gonna see your armor and stuff, and this is where you can go level them up and everything. Now I'm a lot behind on my leveling up, so we're not gonna get into that. But as you kill each monsters, you'll unlock a new tree once you collect the material. These are every single tree in the entire game. You're most likely gonna start out with the ore tree and the bone tree, and it's only going to be up to rarity 4, and you're not even going to be able to see most of them. There's just going to be a question mark on them because you don't have the materials unlocked. But it's going to be 4 rarities. Once you beat Zoro Magris for the first time, your rarities will be buffed up all the way to 8. No, you'll be buffed up to 6, and once you completely defeat him, no, I lied, rarity 5, and once you completely defeat him a second time, you'll get buffed up to rarity 8. And then, like I said, as you go along, you kill new monsters, large monsters, because you can only unlock new skill trees by killing large monsters and carving them or capturing them. You capture them, you get more materials, but they'll tell you that again. I'm just here to give you a review on one and personal opinions to what I see and like. But like I said, there's actually a lot of varieties and types, and they all look different, and they all have their own nice, cool looking style that either you'll take it just because of how it looks, or you'll highlight because of the stats, so on. I'm the person who works off of stats, so I'm going for this weapon right here because rarity 8, cool, nice rarity type, and it has the highest attack in all of the entire, pretty much this entire screen, because 698. The rest here you see is just from like 660 to 693. Can't see anything better than that. 660, 627, 627. That's rarity 8. Keep that in mind. 627, 660. All these weapons here. Like I go for a baseline attack because I can't rely on my abilities all the time, so I have to rely on my base attack sometimes. I could go for this, but let's just say Zoro Magris doesn't like me, okay? And the only reason that now, yes, this why you're gonna say why I don't go for this because it's more powerful. It's 727. Okay, 3 reasons. First reason, it's rarity 7. Second reason, Zoro Magris is easy grind, but his materials aren't that easy to get. Third reason, if you look at the sharpness is pretty much the baseline of how powerful your weapon is. If your weapon durability is too low, every time you hit your enemy, your weapon will bounce off, and it'll only do half damage because you're bouncing it off them. So the weapon durability for this, once you hit orange, actually no, once you hit yellow, your weapon will start bouncing off. Your weapon usually bounces off the enemy, but some of them have armor on them, so it makes sense. But if your durability is way too low, it'll bounce off in general. So I don't really want this one because this is a high attack power, yes, but with the amount of large enemies you'll fight, you'll realize that this will not grant you the piece you need to actually do damage. So the second best weapon is the Narragante's Extermination Edge, because the durability is nicely spread out between the highest durability to the lowest durability. Its element is dragon, affinity is 0, which is not a bad thing at all. I have to look more into affinity, so I don't know about this. And it's 693, which is the best, second best in like power. You could go for the Divine Slasher, but I don't know how to get these coins yet. I have to look into that. But yeah, that's pretty much how this is. This is already maxed out, so I really can't show you that. Well, I actually know, I'm lying, I could, because the Proton Axe. And this is pretty much the skill tree I went for. It's pretty good. They have some pretty good weapons out here. I went for the Axe of Demons, which is the Diablo Sleeve, which is 805. Now that is, I am guaranteed the highest power here. The only other power one for here is that one and the one from Narragante, but they're only 700. The one I use is 805, which is pretty damn awesome. And it's power pillar, so it's no elemental base. Elemental base weapons are pretty good, but you have to consider the enemy that you're fighting. So if you're going to use an element based weapon, I'd recommend going for a dragon or a blast type, because there's always some type of enemy that has some resistance. Most bosses you fight won't really have an element of resistance, but if you have to kill that one, there's going to be that one annoying boss that you'll really hate, and he's going to be resistant to the weapon you have. I guarantee you, it's always happened to me, so it will happen to you. But they have all elements, which is fire, and that's my phone. Okay, so I don't have to fix that, but yeah, moving on. There's elements such as, off the top of my head here, fire, ice, thunder, poison, yeah. There's a power element pillar, which is pretty much just even more strength. There's a dragon element, there's thunder, if I didn't already say that. There's sleep, yes, it will literally put the enemy to sleep, which is exhaust. This is blast, so if I'm right, as you're dealing damage, your enemy will just spontaneously combust out of nowhere. I mean, it won't kill them immediately, but they'll just take a very explosive shot out of nowhere. Water, there's water and ice. I'm not crazy. Yeah, see, there's ice, which is pretty fucking much what I'm using. And there's water, like I said, fire, thunder, yada yada yada, on and on. And that pretty much does it for the smithery. And so we should go on to the next, is the canteen. this is pretty much the room areas I was telling you about earlier. Your cat will usually be blocking it off, your housekeeper. So if you go up to the canteen, this is pretty much here. There's a lift right next to it up from the trade market, so you can take it up here really fast and easy. If I'm right, mine is maxed out because I haven't checked my quest yet, so I don't know what exactly am I missing. But if I'm right, this is pretty much my maxed out one. The canteen is where you can talk to your handler, your original handler, but you can stop by and to any of those boards you see down there, and you can pretty much go to those to accept your missions. Now, to upgrade any of these areas in general, the people who are behind them, like this cat person right here, Master Chef, is at random times they will give you a quest or a bounty. They're mostly gonna be bounties, but whenever they assign you bounties, you should do them because every time you upgrade a base, they'll give you better benefits and perks, such as for like the canteen area, for example. I'll get more food choices and options, which gives me better buffs, or like attack up, defense up, element resistant up, stamina, health for me and my cat at any random times. And they're pretty good, and they're only temporary until I faint. And plus, there's also the benefit that they also give perks such as you don't get knocked flat on your ass, and monsters can't send you flying to the sky, which is very good. But that's it for the hub, because I'm not gonna waste your time going to the gathering hub, because pretty much the gathering hub is pretty much this entire area condensed into one spot, and you can see everyone, other players, so it's like I won't waste your time doing that. But other than that, that's it for the hub. I'm putting it to the fact of design, creativity, because you can actually talk to everyone here, and depending on which part of the story, they will also say very different things. For the design, uses, and the grind you have to do to get better stuff, I will give this a 3 out of 5. 3.5 out of 5. Only reason that they do kind of ask for a bit too much when it comes for their bounties and then extra things as well. But other than that, that's going to be it for this review, because everything else would just be me showing you around all these places. So if you guys did enjoy and find this useful and helpful, make sure you leave a like, comment down below, and subscribe to our Shadows Army today. I'm the New Gamer, and I'll see you guys and girls next time.